Hello there guys, it's Stephen here. Manchester City are through to the 5th round of the FA Cup after beating Cardiff City 2-0. And this was a game basically marred by an absolute terrible refereeing performance. The performance itself in general was about a 6-7 out of 10. It was just enough to beat the Championship team. It was just enough to get through, and there was moments of real quality. It should have been maybe 4 or 5-0 in the end. It would have been anywhere near our clinical best if the referees had been a little bit more on form, but it will do. It didn't have to be a performance of exceptional quality. It didn't have to be a mesmeric performance. It had to be just enough to get through, and it was always likely that we were going to win given the strong team we named. It was lovely to see Vincent Kompany come back into centre defence, and he was largely untroubled alongside Otamendi in the middle there. It was a good performance from him, a good welcome back to our captain. But Bravo started in goal behind him. He was typically Bravo, flapped a little bit, showed a few moments of panic, but we got through in the end. That's all that matters. But it was the referee performance that stood out in this game. He was absolutely abysmal. That first 45 minutes is one of the worst performances I've seen from a referee in absolutely ages. Mason was just shocking. He hasn't got a clue what he's doing, and the referees in this country seem to get worse. I'm so bored of seeing these challenges going, these potential leg breakers going unpunished. We've seen it so many times this season. Now there was a challenge today on Leroy Sané after a barnstorming run. It took him about 60 yards of the pitch. That should have been a red. It was a cynical, nasty, downright dangerous challenge from Bennett, and basically Sané was lucky to not break his leg. He did go off injured at half time. Well, he went off at half time. I don't know if he's injured or not, but he didn't re-emerge. It's probably just precautionary. I hope it's just precautionary, but it's absolutely ridiculous. When you think of previous challenges against us that have gone unchallenged, some absolute shockers. Murphy on Gundogan for Newcastle, and then the shockers from KDB against Palace and against Spurs, and then that one from Harry Kane and Raheem Sterling. It just keeps repeating itself again and again. And when is something going to be done about it? I'm bored of it. In general, Cardiff kicked the absolute shit out of us throughout that game. Brahim Diaz, bless him, he gone for 2 minutes, and he was a victim of another reducer, as Moinkier would probably call it, on Brahim, and he got sent off in the end. Bennett, it was long overdue, and it makes me think, if the referees actually did their job, then you wouldn't have to send players off in the 90th minute, because Cardiff wouldn't be able to kick us to pieces. Something needs to be done about this. The referees are absolutely terrible in this country. Don't even get me started on the Bernardo Silva goal that was ruled out. I have no idea what that was ruled out for. It was a wonderful, beautiful goal. Sané was alleged offside. He wasn't offside. He wasn't even interfering with play, even if it had been offside, yet they ruled out a special goal. It's just mind-bogglingly shit, and that's always the story. And it makes me bored. It makes me so bored walking away from games like this and have to moan about the referees. But anyway, it's annoying. It's really annoying. But we are through, and hopefully there's no long-term damage there, despite their best efforts to ruin or injure a player or two of ours. We are through to the 5th round. We are still in 4 competitions. It wasn't a scintillating performance, but I want to single out Bernardo Silva for, especially in the first half, he was absolutely brilliant as a just kind of roaming, fluid false nine. It's the best I've seen him play, maybe at City, though I feel like I've said that a few times now. It just kind of tends to imply that he's getting better in general. He looked a cut above most on the pitch in that first 35 minutes. He was floating around the defence. He scored a wonderful goal that was somehow ruled out, and absolutely teed up Sterling perfectly with a delightful whip cross. Got another assist there for him. He's a fantastic little player, getting more and more comfortable with the Premier League, or the English football in general, every single week. I can't finish this match review without obviously mentioning Kevin De Bruyne as well. Kevin De Bruyne is a special footballer, an outstanding, simple genius of a man. That free kick was delightful. It was delightful in its simplicity, to place it on the wall like that, to predict the wall's movement. It's just, it makes you laugh out loud how good he is sometimes. And it was a pass in the second half, a wonderful 50-yard through ball to Sterling that deserves so much better. It's the kind of stuff that most people can't even dream of doing, never mind absolutely executing. He's a phenomenal footballer, getting better every single week. It was going to moan about this game a little bit. It would have been that Brahim Diaz didn't get on earlier. I think in general, if you can't play him against Cardiff, probably the easiest game on paper that we'll have for the rest of the season. When is he going to get his game time? He came on for 2 minutes, immediately looked bright, ran at the defenders, but I would love to see him get involved a little bit earlier. We need to find out if these players are viable options going towards the end of the season if we pick up injuries. Raheem is a tough little son of a gun, and he needs a little bit longer than 2 minutes to really assert his authority. I can't be too critical of Pep in general. We've been fantastic this season, and I'm obviously hugely behind his work, but I would still love to see Raheem get at least 20 minutes and learn a few things about football at this level and the physicality that comes with it. Anyway guys, what did you make of that display? It wasn't a classic game of football. It was one that was infuriating to watch at times, and maybe we're a little bit too casual in the second half in particular. We nearly invited Cardiff back into it, but it didn't matter. We got the job done. We're very good at this whole seeing out games thing these days, and that's another win, another route into another competition's further stages. We're still on for that quadruple. It isn't going to happen. Let's get that thought out of our heads immediately. But it's nice to know that we are still on our way to another potential trip to Wembley after we've already secured our place in the League Cup final. Guys, let me know in the comments what you thought of that game. Subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a like on this video, and I'll see you next time.